All right. Hi, how are you? Thanks for taking a few minutes to check out the video, watch the video. I knew I had to get on here because there's a lot of there's a lot of how can I put this? Well, a lot of left and right side stuff. That's the best way. I don't mean necessarily left and right side political. I'm just saying the mayor of Palm Beach County wrote a letter to the governor of Florida and said, well, let's put Palm Beach County in phase one, even though we weren't supposed to be in phase one for a few more weeks. And quite frankly, I don't know what a few more weeks would have done. It wouldn't have changed anything. It still would have been the same, thing. But personally, I think it's way too soon. And let me explain to you why. Because um, right now, we don't have people that are social distancing. There's cases that are not being reported. Remember that. I've said this from the beginning. The numbers that we're seeing, um, from the Johns Hopkins, which is the real-time tracker that I'm sure you've seen on the news numerous times, that's only reported cases. There's a lot more cases that haven't been reported. Also, originally it was supposed to be the counties in Florida, if you went 14 days without I don't remember if it was a death or a case, then you were going to be able to go to phase one. Well, all that went out the window because of pressure put on the governor. The governor's trying to please the president, and the president, responds to this stuff. There's not that many things that I disagree with when it comes to this political crap, but I think we're making a big mistake, especially in Palm Beach County, which is the highest number of cases of COVID-19 in the state of Florida. Now, we still have until next week, we still have the stay at home order. And some people have written on my Facebook or Instagram or Twitter and said, well, then you be locked up in your house. Well, I don't have a choice. I'm one of these people, and my mom as well. We both have underlying conditions. Mine are worse than hers because I have a complete compromised immune system because of being in anaphylactic shock and because of the Stevens-Johnson syndrome. It just really screwed up my inner workings. So it scares the hell out of me that I could go to a store and have somebody like 2 feet away, like coughing their head off, mask or no mask, and just, I mean, how many times do you have somebody at work and I'll give you an example at the radio station. Everybody shares the same microphone. So if one person's sick, within a few days, everybody else is sick. Now, granted, I do believe that there's something that's not kosher with this whole thing from the beginning. I know I've said that over and over again. By the way, my hair is terrible. It needs to be colored and cut. Um, Depending on how they're going to do it at my salon, I'm hoping I can get in there and get my hair done because, I mean, my eyebrows look like, I just look like I'm a mess. I just need it so bad. This is the longest I think I've ever gone without a haircut. Oh, no, no. When I was in the hospital, it was even longer. But it's looking pretty bad right now. Um, so for one, just think it's too soon. I also am so um, sad that Sweet Tomatoes, one of my favorite restaurants of all times. I used to eat at Sweet Tomatoes in um, Fort Myers, Sarasota, Tampa. I mean, really all over. One of my favorite. What does it mean when your nose itches? Am I going to come into some money or something? I forgot what that means. They're closing all 97 locations, which is just so disappointing. My mom was so disappointed too because she would love the soups there as I would as well, and the salads. They're closing all 97 stores, which really sucks. Now here's the thing. I'm sure there's a lot of restaurants that are going to close because with this phase one, they can only be at 25% capacity. And some of these businesses are going to obviously stretch it as far as they can, and they have to make the money. I got that. I understand that businesses want to stay in business. I got that. I agree with that. I just think it's too soon to open these businesses when we don't even know how many people are walking around with this COVID. You couldn't possibly know. And the numbers that Johns Hopkins puts out, which is the counter that you see everywhere on TV, those are only reported cases. That's not every case. It's only reported. And for those that say, hey, do you know anybody that's got this coronavirus thing? I do. I know 7 people personally that have died from coronavirus. And I got to tell you, that's very, very sad. It's unbelievable. It changes your entire perspective when you get a phone call and you hear somebody say to you that so-and-so has died from COVID. Because from the beginning, something didn't seem right. And then all of a sudden it comes home and you hear about 1 person and 2, then 3, then 7. I know 7 people that lost their lives because of this. And it's just heartbreaking for their families, for their friends. So don't tell me the thing is not real, because it's obviously real. A couple of them from New York, in case you're wondering. I'm trying not to read the comments right now. I'm trying to look at you right in the camera, because I think it's more effective when I look at you, and then you can look right in my eyes at the same time. What else? I'm just really bummed about sweet tomatoes. Oh, so here's my I don't know if I just said this or I just thought this. So here's the thing, the employees that worked, the 4,400 employees, by the way, at Sweet Tomato, they wear these kind of almost like flimsy, like if you're a woman and you got your hands, I forgot what it is, when you put your hands in the paraffin thing, they came with these gloves that are purposely oversized, but they covered your hands, and when you dipped your hand in the thing, and then you put the glove on, and then what is it called? Oven mitt over that. I used to love getting that treatment, by the way. My ex-girlfriend in Denver had one of those things and just loved it. But anyway, those gloves that came with that, those are the same gloves that the workers wear in most every restaurant. They don't wear the gloves like the medical gloves that everybody's wearing today. So if I was the owner of Sweet Tomatoes, I'm thinking we already have the sneeze shields up, the cough guards, whatever they're called. Why not just have people require them to wear gloves that you put on at the beginning of the line? When you get to the end of the line, there's a basket and you put the gloves in it. You want to go up again and get a new pair of gloves. Wouldn't that be the solution for all buffets? And I've heard from a lot of people that a lot of buffets, if not all, are going to close. That saddens me too, because my all-time favorite restaurant is a sushi place in Boca that is just phenomenal. So here's 2 ideas that I have for restaurants like that. One, either do the glove thing, and you require, people have to be, you can't have everybody up there. Like usually it's crowded. Could be 15, 20 people up there at the same time. So you just cut it down to 5 so they're not on top of each other. You do the plastic glove routine. Or I remember a long time ago going to a sushi place in Boynton Beach where you had actually, come to think of it, there's a place in Denver that did this too. You get these little pieces of paper that had all the choices on it, and you would put, you put your table number on it, and you check off what you wanted, and the waitress brought it to you. That's a good fix for any kind of buffet restaurant. Now, a place like Golden Corral, that's going to be a little bit out of hand, but think of it like this. The good part of it is the waitresses will get bigger tips because they're actually doing more work. So that's good for the waitresses. And you'll have to be there a little bit longer because it's going to take time for them to actually serve everybody. But so what? I'm one that doesn't like to rush, when I'm eating, I like to take my time. I have a couple friends I go out with occasionally, and they're all about like eating quick and then getting out. I just, that's not for me. So that's my recommendation for buffets, in order to stay open and stay clean. And, this whole thing is just, it's mind blowing. Now, you may totally disagree with me. And you know what? You're allowed to disagree with me. I don't have any problem with that at all. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting comments under this video, but that's basically it. I just wanted to jump on and talk to you a few minutes. And I'm sure after I see the comments, I'll jump back on again with some other stuff. How do you like my background, by the way? I think it's kind of cool. That's all I got for now. I love you. I appreciate your thoughts and prayers. And I hope you understand. I truly hope you understand, if you're not agreeing with me, that I have to protect myself. I have to protect my mom, because we both have underlying conditions. And it's not worth our lives to go out and sit in a restaurant or walk around a mall. It's just not. So I'm happy to stay home. Not happy, but I understand that's what I need to do until there's some kind of resolution, I guess, which I don't think is going to happen. I actually think that this thing is going to be worse because of the governors all around the country that are opening states. And, like, there's one is very funny. I think it's Martin County that they said, the I guess the city council there, or the mayor said, you could be on a beach now and get, and don't quote me because I'm not sure if it's Martin County, but I think it is. You can go lay on the beach, but not in groups larger than 10. Hello? What good is that? I mean, it's certainly not social distancing. I mean, if you have 3 or 4 people in your family, that's different. But if you have 10 people, all of a sudden, I'm telling you, this thing is going to get worse. My gut is telling me it's going to get worse before it gets better. But that's just me, and that's my opinion. You don't have to agree. But I thank you for watching, and thanks for being here. I'll talk to you really soon. Look forward to your comments too.